So what?
Well, I was just going to open the show, talk about a couple things, and then I was going to do kind of a quick little break and then go into Spencer.
Did you want to, you wanted me to open it with the...
Previously.
Yeah, okay.
If you
We should keep Spencer on when we discuss the Seahawks as well.
I agree.
Okay, so from now on, when you do the previously on, put it with the open. Because I have to.
Just
I have
send
to
you the
bounce
one
from that.
thing.
I have to bounce from
you're
that now
right.
to the open.
Okay, you're right. I will do that. I got it. Totally in with you.
Oh, you were watching a different game. Was that on?
That was Sunday night last night. I just got in, and then the Seattle game was. By the time I got home, it was 30-0.
You're not a Seahawks fan?
I live in Dallas.
No, they're the cowboy tops.
Yep, these are the cowboy tops. So that's Matt.
Previously on Something About Nothing.
No, they're
What were those
the
Parmesan
cowboy
chicken?
tops.
Yeah.
Yep, these are the cowboy tops. So that Matt.
Fern's had him and her tots encroaching on me this whole time. She's going to sue me
Previously
now.
on Something
Well,
About
oops.
Nothing.
See, it keeps playing. Okay, we're going to start over. Here we go.
That's fine. If you put it, I'll put it together.
Previously on Something About Nothing.
No,
What were
they're
those
the
Parmesan
cowboy
chicken?
tops.
Yeah.
Yep, these are the cowboy tops. So that Matt.
Fern's had him and her tots encroaching on me this whole time.
You're listening to Something About Nothing. We've got a few folks just like you to talk about what's happening in sports, the news of the day, and the absurdity of life. Here's our host, Scott Oshman.
Okay, we are plausibly live here. We are back at Fred's Rivertown Ale House in downtown Snohomish, just for our listeners far and wide. Just a stone's throw away from downtown Seattle, not really, depending on traffic, which is debatable these days. Anyway, Tracy is here, Tracy Jansen.
Yes, hello.
We have Fernalicious here. We have TV Boyle here. We also have a special guest we'll get to in a minute. I want to tease that. In studio. In Fred's Rivertown Ale House studio.
We're looking at him right now.
We are, but we like to play that up, so it's glad to have him here. A couple of little shout-outs. I want to Jim and Cynthia Sherman out there, and they were the lovely hosts for me when I was back home in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And then Jim wrote me this great text on Friday. He said, woke up this morning, looked at my schedule, and started to cry as I have not a good day. I won't say what he said, even though I could because we're explicit. Then I remembered your podcast from last night, so it came up. So I listened coming into work. Oh, my God, you guys are so funny. Put me in a good mood.
Hey.
Now, doesn't that just make you happy inside?
Makes me happy.
It does. That's
Happy.
great.
Fern would be happy,
That's-
but she's having soup.
No, so I'm twice as happy now.
Okay, so I just a shout out there. Also, there was another listener story. One of our listeners who texted me this whole thing about the dogs on the plane because she was on a flight and had these dogs on the plane. She kind of dozed off. I might be telling it. I think I'm pretty close. We did a whole thing about the dogs. Keep your dog, right? So she's
that
on
was
a
my
plane.
first pet peeve on the first
Yeah.
air. Yeah.
So she wakes up. She kind of dozed off. She wakes up, and the flight attendants are handing out like $25 or 2,000 miles, and she looks at her seatmates, and she's like, what happened? And the flight attendants, well, we had dogs take a crap on the plane. And the stench. So here, I'm sorry. I'm like, first thing I responded is like, 2,000 miles?
2,000 miles?
You got to do better than that.
Man.
You need like 25 just to get to like
Yes.
Missoula.
Yeah. So, and then my mother-in-law comes over yesterday, and she's talking about a flight back from Palm Springs, and she brought up a whole nother portion of that program as far as her allergies. They had 5 dogs on the plane, and her allergies were driving her crazy.
Yeah,
we didn't
that's
even get to the allergy part.
You know, they won't even pass out peanuts anymore, but you can bring your dogs that'll set you into anaphylactic shock on the plane. That's ridiculous.
It is. Also, I'd like to say that we're going to be recording next Monday, but who knows? Because next
That's
Monday's Christmas.
Well, you're Jewish though, so you're all
Yeah, but we
all
got.
in.
Have you seen the tree?
I haven't been on.
Fern's seen the tree.
The
You got-
best lights of anybody.
And who lights the
Oh,
tree,
The
Fern?
Jew boy.
Oh, now I get to go
Always.
see your tree.
Yeah.
That's just
It's
yeah.
a
I haven't
No,
been,
it's
I haven't been
sick.
invited over
I
yet.
have light
so.
envy.
Really?
Yeah, no, I'm not kidding.
Okay. Can I just come
Beautiful.
over after the podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought of tree lighting by Jews. That was a whole other idea I had at one point.
Are they all blue lights? Don't the Jews use the blue lights?
No, we do. They're the LED. We had to take a second mortgage out, but we have all LED lights.
Well, but the electricity won't go up really.
That's true.
It was beautiful. I loved it.
Thank you. Merry Christmas, everybody. I really don't know when the next recording is going to be, when we're going to drop. I really don't.
That's good.
We'll
Keep people in
just-
suspense.
Yeah, we'll just have to deal with that. The last thing is really quickly shopping. Is everybody shop? I work with Amazon a lot, and there were so many orders that it broke the machine. Our reporting
broke Amazon?
It broke Amazon. Our reporting only could show sales through the 9th, and today's the 18th.
Wow.
Wow.
It broke it.
Well, I contributed to that.
Did you?
Yes,
Oh,
I did.
yeah.
I did my part also.
My whole goal was to get through this Christmas season without stepping inside a shopping mall.
Was that achieved?
It's pretty much, yeah.
And
I'm
what
getting
about
there.
Fern?
I'm pretty close.
Yeah.
I'm pretty close.
What about like the stocking stuffers? You doing that all online
Well,
too?
Target I do not consider part of a mall.
No,
so
I'm
Target
with you. Or
is-
Bartels.
Yeah.
you
those
still
are
got to
good.
go fight the Linwood commute to get there, right?
Well, no, there's
Yeah,
Target,
Target
in
everywhere.
Woodinville.
Oh,
and
yeah. Okay,
Everett,
you go to
yeah.
that. Okay.
Lake Stevens.
And you gotta time it right. It's all.
It is all about timing.
It is all about the timing.
So have you guys basically online shopping?
Yep.
Yep.
Wow.
I haven't started mine yet.
Total dude thing.
And we got like 10 days. Well, no, it's a week from today, right?
Yeah, it's a week from today.
This is when I start thinking
Yep.
about it.
Wow.
What about you, Spencer? You start. Oops.
What?
Oh, well, you can still edit that.
Cat is out of the bag. No, that's fine. We're going to go in. I want to introduce Spencer Pettit here.
It's a good segue.
It is. That was perfect, Tim. The weapon, we used to call him, because he could kick it farther than many or most high school kickers and still can, now kicking for the University of Nevada.
Yes, sir.
Spencer, welcome back. I've been texting you because I've been going nuts with all this kicker stuff, and I'm dying to talk to you.
I think everyone's been going nuts. It's great to be back with you guys.
Yes, one of the stars of STSPN in the early days.
He was yes. We would mention his name about 20 times.
We
a game.
still do.
Yeah, we still do.
And
I think I helped get some of the followers on Twitter for Todd. So
Thank you. Well, Todd, we took his mic away. We do that
we
periodically.
often have to do that.
General rule.
So, quickly, Spencer, explain to me why I don't understand when I see a D1 team like the Huskies or even the professional in NFL, and it's a chip shot 20-yarder, 25-yarder, and it's, as my wife says, shankopotamus, like beyond control with a good snap, a good hold, and you're like, really? You can't make a 20-yarder?
it's I don't really know because I see D2 teams that have great kickers. There's a D2 kicker just transferred from, I don't even know the name of the school, but he just did his grad transfer to LSU. And so they've got a guy. I think they missed like 11 kicks last year during the season. So
11.
11, and that's a SEC team.
Yeah.
So they need a good kicker. But I think it's that I experienced it, and all these schools don't want to scholarship guys out of high school. So if you're not going to scholarship someone, you're not going to get the best guy. And so, like, I had an offer to Eastern Washington. I mean, I could have gone there and instead of D1 when I should have been playing D1. And so I think that's what a lot of guys do. They want the money, they take the money. And these D1 schools don't want to offer it. They want to give it to a quarterback or a wide receiver. But kickers win games, so just like a quarterback does.
When's the kicker revolution? I mean, when's this going to disrupt it? Because you're seeing more and more that these games, the kicker is just so
vital.
It's vital.
They're gonna go. They're gonna all go on strike here pretty soon.
Yeah.
You know what I like that Spencer just said? He says kickers win games instead of kickers lose games. Because
Well,
that
you have
happens too.
The other thing is the great kicker who broke the records NCAA from Florida State. Then he goes to the Bucks, has a real rough patch. Then he goes Chicago, gets cut, goes to Chicago, can't hang there.
Mm-hmm.
The mentality, that's just being an athlete of a lot of things, right?
Yeah, I mean, things weren't clicking for him. He was in a slump, and then they moved the PAT back, and you don't have that. And I see it a lot with the NFL kickers. I think that moving the PAT back doesn't give you that automatic make over and over again. So I like to go out and make PATs at the beginning of a game just to get in a rhythm. But when you're kicking a 35-yard field goal as your opening kick is not the easiest thing to do. I mean, like I said, we should be able to make those, but having that 20-yard right down the middle kick over and over is pretty nice to have to get into your groove and whatnot.
So take us back a few weeks ago. Blair Hottie Walsh, we like to call him here. He sucked so bad in the first half. He's out at halftime practicing, and there was a lot of commentary on that. I mean, we have a defending the millennials. Maybe we should have defend the kickers. Because
I think I'll defend the kick. I gotta defend it. So I think Blair's a really good kicker. So, really, I think a lot of it's mental.
Yes,
he has the skill. He can physically do it. But once you miss that kick, the next one's in your head. And like you said, he's going out there in warm-ups, and he was missing them during warm-ups as well. So, I think Blair has a lot of skills, a lot of stuff he can do, but it's just finding the ability to do it in the right situation. Obviously, he's doing something right in practice if he's still on the team. So,
is he?
Let me take the other side of the coin, though. So you're right. I agree with you for the most part that I think it's a mental thing. But and you said he has the ability or whatever. But then you get to the Atlanta, he's missing all these field goals right or left or whatever. But then you get to the Atlanta game, and he can't even get the 48-yard field goal. So not only is he missing them right and left, he's short on a 48-yard line.
Me and all my kicker buddies were shocked about that. I mean, he's got a huge leg, obviously. And
that
he
lost,
hit it good. It was straight. It was whatever. But he just, I guess, didn't get all of it. So, and they did lose the game. But I think he went like 2 for 2 the next game. But in a game where Seahawks lost, so it didn't really matter. But
and then in Jacksonville, he missed was it a 28 or 38-yarder? He missed kind of a short one that he should have got. And he's legitimately lost us 2 games, possibly 3.
Well, I mean, because when it comes down to the PATs, then you're chasing points on PATs and going for 2. And
we talk about that all the time. Yeah,
exactly. So that's because one of my coaches, like, if you miss a PAT, the next time we're going for 2, and it just puts you further behind and further behind. I mean,
you probably heard us talk about that on the air many times, chasing that extra point. I think you got to just keep kicking the extra point.
Definitely.
Because then you start chasing.
You get that guaranteed point.
Yeah.
Well, we hope it's guaranteed.
Yeah.
So you're down in the Reno area, actually in Reno, right? Loving it. You're
awesome,
sophomore eligibility as far as your kicking.
Yep, got 2 more years to play.
Excellent. Yep. And so you're having fun. You're doing well. Always a good student.
Exactly. Yeah, I see a lot of sunshine too. I get here and I'm like, geez, it hasn't rained in Reno since. And if it rains in Reno, it rains for a day and it's gone. So I think we get like 260 days of sun a year, something like that. So.
Where Seattle's the opposite. We have 260 cloudy days.
And I still love it here, but it's getting in that. Even when it's 45 degrees, it feels hot because the sun's right there. So.
Yeah. For those of us listening around the country, it was a dark day today.
So
I mean, the lights were on all day. You had to have them on because it was dark and dreary.
It never stopped raining today.
No. So, the kickers. Why don't the colleges reverse this and say, hey, it's a luxury. That's the other thing that gets us so frustrated is the fact that when you're driving down, it's a luxury because you don't have that pressure. Well, it's 4th and 1, 4th and 2. I'm at the 30. If you don't have a good kicker, you're going, you're playing the odds. You got a great kicker. You don't even have to think about it, especially if you're early in the game.
Knowing when you cross the 40, you're getting 3 guaranteed points is awesome. And I think in college, these teams want high-powered offense, score touchdowns, all of this. So they don't take the early points, and then it comes back to bite them in the 3rd and 4th quarters when they realize, wow, we need our kicker right now. So if you would have kicked that 35-yard field goal in the 2nd quarter, I think it's a different ballgame,
Who's the best kicker right now in the college ranks? I mean, you're very, the kicker village is a small village.
Yeah, we know a lot of guys. So I think the Utah kicker went like 25 of 29, something like that, which is insane. I don't even think he started the first game. So to do that, I mean, attempting that many kicks is one thing, and then to make.
I was just going to say, on the weapon tracker, we have everybody has the weapon tracker on your phone.
You had a good year yourself.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You didn't get many opportunities.
No, we didn't. I mean, we didn't have an amazing year wins-wise. So, I mean, when you're losing, you got to get those touchdowns. You can't be kicking threes. So, from a coaching standpoint, it makes complete sense. And the better we get, the more field goals we'll kick. So.
All right. Anything else for Spencer? I mean, I feel a little bit better about myself, about the kickers, but I can tell you the people I watch games with, when the kicking comes up, they don't want to watch it because I go off. especially when I'm watching the Huskies and the guy can't hit a 25-yarder.
That doesn't bother me a
I'm
bit.
out of my mind. Or remember the year that he graduated and the Cougs missed, I can't remember the kicker, but they missed all kinds of easy ones, and we were going crazy because didn't you have a cup of coffee there?
Walk-on spot there.
I know, and I was going nuts, too. I was like, we need Pettit.
Didn't work out. I mean, I took my visit there, and I liked it better, so I went there.
Well, and Van
I think
Winkle,
the Coug guy missed his first 5 or 6 field goals of the year, and then Leach wouldn't even try a field goal for like 3 games or something after that.
He had a really good year this year,
but
though.
he did.
Powell.
Yeah, he came back. Yeah.
And then the Husky had Van Winkle, who's from Mount Si. He drove me nuts, and then he finally got it right. But he was, again, the people they don't know is if the hold's just right, the snap. I mean, there's a lot of things that they blame on the kicker.
Kick, yeah.
But is that fair? Because is like the quarterback, there's too much blame, too much glory to the kicker?
Yeah, I mean, you got to live with it because we also get all the glory when we make it. So the holder doesn't get any glory when I make my kicks. He doesn't get any points. So
we gave a player of the game to the holder this year.
I love that. That's awesome.
Because he had to scoop 2 kicks that were like in the dirt and wobbling around. He had to scoop them up and get them real quick.
Yeah, especially the snapping in high school is not the best thing.
Yeah.
So it's tough being a holder. Me and my friends joke about because they snapped. It started with kickers getting scholarship, and then long snappers. We're like, when are holders going to get scholarship?
I need a scholarship, baby. All right, well, viva la kicker. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back, and we will commiserate and Seahawks freaking drama. Oy vey. It's over right after this.
I can't wait.
All right, that was awesome.
Did you time it?
Not really.
Was that like you're kind of pregnant or? I mean,
yeah, I didn't really forget.
Really?
We were so early. We actually started early.
Oh, wow.
I know. It's only 7:09.
Oh, God. You're going to play this? I got to go back here.
Which group is this?
I'm going to tell you in just a second. All right, bringing us in is the Burning Man Trio, and this is my dear friend I grew up with, Matt Burrier, also Dennis McPartland and Jim Hauer on bass, Dennis playing the drums, and big shout out to Matt Burrier there in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, one of the greatest musicians and pianists I've ever seen. The guy was a savant by the time 12 years old, 10, 11 years old, we were playing together. And
you were playing at 12 years old?
I've been playing the drums since I was like 6.
Wow.
So I went to junior high school. In 7th grade, met Matt Burrier, and we were in swing choir and all kinds of stuff. He's just an incredible piano player. So that's who's bringing us in. That's our original music. I'll try and play more of that at the end. We're back here at Fred's Rivertown Ale House. We got Spencer Pettit. Now it's time to talk about Little Seahawks. I know we've done a lot of sports here, so just bear with us. But it was I have written on the show rundown, ass kicking by the Rams, and a lot of the talk around Seattle and the NFL actually on ESPN and National and NFL Network is stick a fork in Seattle. Great, it was a great run. They're done.
Hey, a lot of people are saying that was kind of a symbolic passing of the torch from the Seahawks to the Rams, and that happened a few years ago with the 49ers and the Seahawks, and it was terrible though. I've been a Seahawks fan since the day we had season tickets for like the first 20 years. So I've probably either been to or seen almost every single Seahawks game over the course of their history, and I've never seen them play this bad. I mean, they got beat on all 3 special teams. They got beat on defense, offense, everything, coaching, you name it. They were just horrible.
They beat themselves on so many things.
Well,
you don't even have to have another team out here. They couldn't do anything. They couldn't pull anything together. It was lame.
Fernalicious, when did you turn the TV off? I saw that in a text string, but at some point, that's her go-to. She just, when she shuts it off.
Because it makes me physically sick. I'm so competitive. I want to win so bad that I'm sick to my stomach. When we're playing like that, I can't take it. So it was probably about midway through the second quarter.
Ooh.
Wow.
I didn't even make
You
it to
didn't last
halftime.
that long.
I know. It was awful. So bad.
I wish I would have. You should have texted me and said you should turn it off right now.
Turn it off.
Just put me out of my misery.
Yeah.
What other things about the Seahawks loss? What other struck you? Just the will, the vibe is gone. They don't have that athletic swagger. They don't have that athletic
discipline
and cockiness. Yeah. They were just getting absolutely beat.
I thought
on
they
the front
gave.
line.
I thought it looked like they gave up.
Yeah.
And I would rarely say that. But when's the last time Michael Bennett's made a tackle?
Oh, by the way, I did take a shot when in the first quarter and he went off sides.
Oh,
I texted you.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, we're
wasn't
basically
it,
saying if we had to take a shot of whiskey every time Bennett jumps offside, we'd have to get a new liver.
That's the drinking game.
So Joe and I's deal yesterday was okay.
Cougar Joe.
Cougar Joe. What 5 players are you going to cut? Who are you getting rid of?
Spencer,
Infetti.
you want to chime in?
I don't know who they need. They need to draft a running back. First round, they need to draft a running back. They've had 3 running backs a year for the last 3-4 years.
At least.
Yeah, and it's brutal. And like I said, I'm not even a Hawks fan, and it's hard to watch. And I
But
think
could that
they
be
need,
because their offensive line is so bad that they just can't establish a running game?
Yeah, I mean, that could be it, but they also need to invest in veteran linemen. I mean, pick up a free agent who's been there, done it, not take a risk on these rookies. Get a good back who can run for a long time. I mean, backs don't last very long in the league. And I think they need a true number 1 receiver.
That's why they call it the NFL, not for long.
Exactly. So a true number 1 receiver would really help them a lot.
Yeah, and I don't know where, like the Tanner McAvoy. Don't you?
Oh my God!
What in the
Can we go?
world?
Didn't I cut him like the second week?
How did he make it? And then
Oh my
the guy from UW that had like the best preseason. in the
Kason
whole
Williams.
Yeah, he gets cut, and they keep Tanner McAvoy.
Oh my God!
And McAvoy's been a bust this whole year.
Did I not cut him after the second
Yes.
game? I said, "What is he doing?" And then he shows up again. Go ahead, Fern. He
I'm
fires
just
me
saying,
up.
that's how I feel about Eddie Lacy. We went and got him and paid him millions of dollars, and he made minus yards this year. Minus.
Yeah, they're not even playing him.
He's sitting on the bench. He's horrific.
Tim
Thomas-
traded him on fantasy last year, though, for him.
I got him. I traded his wife for him because he was having a great year, and right when I got him, he got hurt last year.
Oh, awful.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't even get to the
Painful.
Pittsburgh Patriots game, which was an incredible game, but I don't even know what a catch is anymore. We didn't even get to that, and we got to go. But
We should briefly talk about it. Spencer should chime in. He's been a football player. What's
now-
the deal with the catch in the NFL? You have to like make 7 football moves and
Jimmy
read.
Graham had a catch like that yesterday.
Yeah, he did.
Seriously, what do you call a catch if that wasn't a catch and then a fumble?
It's ridiculous.
And he crosses. These guys dive for pylons, and when a runner has it and he goes and he reaches out, he crossed the plane. It's a touchdown. Don't matter. The ball's in the stands already.
It's like the Dez catch.
Yes,
but
exactly.
The Dez catch
If he takes
is different to
two
me.
It is a little different, but he crossed the plane before the ball came out. I thought it was a catch. So and
It's
his
a
knees
catch!
down, so it's hard. I mean, maybe by the rule, it's not a catch, but the rule needs to be changed.
Yes,
If that
that's
makes-
exact. The rule's
The
stupid.
ref's doing a good job, but they just need to change the rule.
God, you're just like him. I
It-
texted him. He's like, it's a crappy rule, but the rule they did
The
it
rule's
right.
the
That's how it
rule,
was with
exactly.
Dez. It's the
You gotta-
rule. You have to.
It's stupid. I hate it. But, the thing about these guys, like the guy from Pittsburgh, you catch the ball, you have possession of the ball, you have control of it, and not only that, you're actually taking the ball and extending it. I mean, you obviously have possession if you can move the ball
Isn't
and try
that
to
a
put it
catch?
over the line. It's a catch.
Now,
It's
the only thing I said after the Dez catch, which you started, is 100 years ago, back in the day, is when you're a receiver, you catch the ball and you immediately take it in. Now, the problem is these guys, when they catch it, they're trying, and not only the receivers, but everybody's just trying to do the reach over the pylon. They're trying to do all this crazy stuff. But, you catch it, you pull it into your body. That's old school.
Yes, but if you can take the ball and reach it over the pylon, that means you've had possession of it and you control it.
Yeah.
If you can do that with the ball. It's not like you're doing it while you're juggling the ball,
They saw his knee. At any rate, I thought it's a catch. Put the ball on the 1 yard line or 2 yard line, if that. But anyway, it wasn't. It goes, Tommy Brady wins again. He gets another avocado. We'll be back after this.
Ah, beautiful. Beautiful.
Okay, we got to call my dad now.
I got to come up with a definition. I need to think of it ahead of time.
A definition of.
Yeah, what the Yiddish word is.
Oh.
Oh, but you
I'm
can't
really
think of
bad at
it.
Hold on,
this.
You can't do it ahead of time.
No,
Do I
but
need to tell
cannot-
you which
I'm
number?
Not snappy
No,
like that.
You're pretty snappy. You're pretty snappy.
Sassy maybe, but not so snappy.
Snappy and sassy. Oh,
I thought this
whoops.
was break time.
We got a good editor.
Sorry.
Is that his fax number?
We're up to like 560 downloads.
Are we?
BT Dubs.
When we hit 1,000, we need to go out and celebrate.
We should come to Fred's on a Monday night. I'm now just storing up shows of drunk history just so I can binge
I
watch.
need to watch that more.
Have you drank and watched ever?
No, but that's a
Forgot
great
to
idea.
watch that.
That's a great idea. I'm going to come to your house and look at your lights and drink and
Sounds good.
watch Drunk History.
Why does it always have to be about drinking?
Well, it's just an option. Have you ordered
Coming from the Coug.
Have you ordered your Pendleton yet?
Have I what?
Ordered your Pendleton yet?
Not yet. Oh, I forgot. I got to order them. When they come by, I got to order that.
Oh, I should do a commercial at some point. But okay, it's time for the Yiddish word of the week with Don Oshman, depending on where you live, where you're from. We calling him? We're working on it. Here he is. A lot of debate about what the word is. A lot of debate. Down to the wire.
Hello. Yiddish Central.
Is this Yiddish Central?
This is the place, man.
All right.
Hello, Don.
Hello, Don.
Hello. Hi, folks.
Happy Hanukkah, Don.
We got Spencer Pettit on the line today.
We got to light a candle. We forgot.
Oh,
We got a what?
they got to light a candle.
Oh,
That's the Jewish confession.
Totally forgot.
I light the menorah at my house. I don't
Like
call
it?
it a candle.
Is that a Mormon club menorah?
It's a Mormon thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, we have a special in-studio guest, Spencer Pettit, and otherwise known as The Weapon, one of the great kickers at University of Nevada.
Yep.
So say hello to my father, Spencer.
How we doing?
Hi.
All right, a little scratchy on the
We are-
connection.
We might need
nice.
to, sometimes if you call them back, you get rid of that scratch, but
Should we go with it? It's terrible. Can you move to the other side of the house?
I don't think that's what it is.
No, we're tucked in a corner here at Fred's. So what's today? What's the Yiddish word of the week? I was telling him how it was down to the wire, and we were debating it or not debating it. I couldn't make up my mind.
We did have a long meeting about it, Scott.
Yes, it was a big meeting, conference call, webinar. You got a little bubonic, I know, so I hope you're feeling better.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Did
Hello.
we lose him?
Well, maybe
We might need to
that's
call
for the
him back.
better.
He
We need to
sounded
get
like
him back
he
on
was
the line.
a little.
Let's hang up and call him.
Let's hang back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye,
We'll
Don.
hang up and call you back.
Bye, Don.
We'll edit that out.
That was great radio
Thank
right
goodness
there.
for delete.
It already sounds better.
Who made this be?
There we go.
Donnie!
Hello.
Donnie, baby!
I bet his head just explodes with that. like, what the heck?
Can you hear us?
Don.
Don, Yiddish
Hello.
Central. Okay, tell us what the Yiddish word of the week is. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear us?
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Oh, no, Don. Where are
Fred's.
you?
It's a Fred situation,
Can
man.
you hear me over
Yes,
here?
we can hear you.
Yes, can you hear us? Don.
Not well, but I'm not well enough.
Hey, just give
Okay.
it to us. Just give it to us
What
right
is the
now.
Yiddish word of the week brought to you by water?
Anyway, you ready for the Yiddish word of the week?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes, we are. Yes.
Okay, the Yiddish word of the week is chazer. You got to get the so it's
Chazer. Chazer. Again, cover
You hear
your glasses. Chazer.
Pause.
Buzz.
There. Find me again.
That's like a meme. We should have the Tracy Jansen trying to say Yiddish meme.
You have to wear a mask.
Chazer.
Hazer.
Chazer. That was very good.
Hazer.
Spencer,
Chazer.
any do you know what it means?
Nope, no idea.
Hazer.
Never heard the word.
It's Tim Boyle, the guy that's put off Christmas shopping until the last minute.
Oh.
Chazer.
I can be included in that then too.
Pause. Yeah.
There's a lot of those around here.
Yeah.
Is this a noun, Don? Hazer is a noun, like a thing or a person or a place?
I think we lost Don.
Got nothing.
I'm gonna
It
go
is
with,
a person.
I'm gonna go with Fern. I'm gonna stick with Fern.
Really?
I like
What?
that. Yeah.
Somebody who hasn't really.
It's a procrastinator.
I don't think. Oh, we're calling again. Third time's a something.
Yiddish Central, here we are again.
Can you hear me this time? At all?
I can't hear you. I hope you can hear me.
Okay.
I said before, the Yiddish word of the Yiddish word of the week is chazer.
Okay. Okay. What's the?
But
What
all
does
I
it
hear
mean?
is garbled background noise.
What does it mean, Luke? I am your father. What does it mean? We don't.
He's gone again.
All right.
He's
I'm
gone
so
again.
sorry.
Do you know what it is, Scott?
I do.
All right. Why don't you
What-
give it to us?
All
A
right, what's
chazer is somebody who just, eats like a. It's actually the technical definition is a pig.
Ah.
Oh, it's like Christmas dinner then. Because you have
Somebody-
to
We
have
already
everything.
have a Yiddish word about being
Well, that was full. That was
being
ungeschwollen.
Yeah.
Ungeschwollen, yeah.
Okay.
But this
All
is
right.
like a chazer, like, oh, you're such a pig. You're eating like a pig.
So the chazer could become ungeschwollen.
It could.
Correct.
But chazer is not
More
a
than
great
likely.
word because the other part of chazer, who we talked about getting into, is chazerai. Like if you go to a place and it's just not here where we are, but if you go to some other place, none of the places we go to, but if you go and it's a horrible meal. Oh, that chazerai. I had this chazerai over at so and so.
A horrible meal, huh?
Chazerai.
Good to know.
That segment was chazerai.
That was some Hazarat right there.
You're gonna have to do some good editing on that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Every segment ending with oy vey. All right, we'll be back with something. We go back with the news.
Oh, the news, my favorite part.
Gosh.
Come back with that.
Oh, gosh.
More on Something About Nothing.
You're on the hook, Fern. We gotta flag down the waiter here. We got empty glasses. Several.
Let me do this read when we come back here.
Not that I want to be a chazer or anything.
No, I agree with you. All right, today's episode is brought to you in part by the Outdoor Biz Podcast with Rick Says. First, let me just tell you, the outdoor industry, it's larger than you think. In fact, it's $880 billion industry that drives some serious people to buy great products and get outside. It's fantastic. So check it out at the Outdoor Biz Podcast. Rick Says does an incredible job interviewing all kinds of various people and characters within the outdoor industry and some just kind of adjacent to it. It's all the who's who, the hoity-toities, the athletes. It's a lot of fun to listen to. The retailers we talked about online, everybody shopping online. We're doing, Rick Says, we're doing a big panel about omni-channel down at our big our big trade show called the Outdoor Retailer Show in Denver at the end of January. So listen to Outdoor Biz Podcast. It's available all the places you listen to podcasts. Just search Outdoor Biz Podcast. All right, Fern, it's time for
The news.
the news with Fernalicious.
Well, I'm going to jump into my news for a second, but I'm just going to take a moment to say, we did have some really bad news here in Washington today with that train wreck. So our thoughts and prayers are definitely with those families. Anyway, moving on to a little bit lighter, we have a trapped man apparently was heard yelling for help in the Queenstown ravine. This is brought to us by the press. And a concerned passerby had called for police, and they heard this man yelling in the ravine, and it turns out it was a goat.
It was a goat?
It was a
was
goat.
a goat?
I mean, I don't even begin to know.
So it was not a man, it was a goat.
It was a goat.
It was a
The
billy
police,
goat.
The police, they go dashing off to the site. They do their research? They got their search and rescue team out there, and they came up with the billy goat.
So they saved it.
He didn't need any saving. He was just making a ruckus.
Oh, I thought you said he was trapped in a ravine.
No, he was in the ravine, but he wasn't really trapped.
Oh, he just was.
It was just they thought it was a
The
trapped
man would have been trapped.
That's-
The man would have been trapped.
So basically, it sounds like it was a female goat then, just standing there making a bunch of ruckus. For no reason.
No. That's usually a man
Troublemaker.
goat. It's usually the man goat. I do like the spokesman, though. He said that he promised that the police never kid around about when they have public safety.
Oh, but up.
The dump.
Be here all
right.
week. Try the
All
veal.
right.
I
Oh,
love
my
goats.
gosh.
What
Love
else?
goats.
Okay,
Fern?
I love this little boy that's down there in Mississippi. He's 5 years old. and he had to call 911 because he was concerned that the Grinch was going to ruin his Christmas.
Ooh.
Well, that's a valid concern.
Was he a bad boy or something?
No, but he's reading, he's seeing the video online, and the Grinch is going to steal
What-
Christmas, and he is trying to stop him before it happens.
What was his news source? Was it
this
Fox
is-
News or
no,
was it
this is-
MSNBC?
It
or?
had to be Fox.
If it was Fox,
I'd say
he would have been
Huffington,
dead
but
on.
no, it's USA Today, he says.
Yeah, hashtag fake
I
news.
do-
Hashtag fake news.
I do love the police officer that went over there because she was a big fan of how this Grinch stole Christmas. And so she went and talked to little Tylon Pittman and assured him that if there was going to be any monkey business, that they would make sure they would. What did Tylon say? He said he wanted to wrestle him to a ground and ask him, why are you stealing Christmas? So
I like it.
I like it too.
You got
I think
more.
It's fantastic.
I know you have more.
All right. Let's see. I got a couple more. I actually kind of like this one because here's this good Samaritan. We've all had a drunk friend that needed a ride home, right? And he calls Lyft and gets her in the car, heads home, and then this person vomits in the Lyft car.
I've heard Lyft drivers, Uber drivers talk about this more than once.
And they sent a picture to this guy that had paid for the Lyft, to get this home, and sent the picture of the damage that was done, and then sent him a $150 bill.
The guy that called the good guy that called the Lyft for the drunk guy got the bill.
Thank you note.
Yeah.
So this
Thank
is
you,
like
no,
one.
thank you.
This is the main reason why I decided not to be an Uber driver. It's 'cause I couldn't stand the idea of people barfing in my car.
Oh, right.
And that's part of that's part of the package.
Oh
right?
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I couldn't deal with that.
I've gotten into Ubers, like going to the airport early in the morning, like, hey, how you doing? Like 4 in the morning. Hey, you been out working tonight? Yeah, how'd it go? Oh, good. I only had one puker.
Oh,
no.
And of course, I scooch over to the left.
Like,
I'm
are
like,
you picking
so.
up your
Where was
feet
it?
and then
Like, no, the door was open. Got it out the door.
Oh,
it's all good.
And
Still.
in my day, we just rolled down the window while the car was going and did it.
I got a story. Actually, a fellow alumni, Washington State Cougar, did that, pulled that move.
Yeah,
I was
see?
the guy driving.
We're trained. Cougs are trained to do that.
Yes, she was excellent at it, by the way.
all right, and then to
We're
close it,
sanitary drunks.
don't get it on me. All right, let's see, close this news story up. But there's a good
Should we?
Samaritan. No, I got one more. But okay, we got a good Samaritan down there in Florida. People's reporting about he just swung in there to get some gas on his way. He had to make a delivery. He was making a delivery of a baby, but he had a minute. He knew he had some time. He knew the mom, so he slides in there to get gas. And this very disturbed man comes running over, and his girlfriend was about to deliver in the car. So they got some. What are the gloves that you use for handling food?
Yeah, like the rubber, like the plastic gloves,
They
like the
got
food handling.
The food handling gloves.
I
And
use them to light the tree.
Delivered the baby
They delivered it right there at the gas
at
station.
the gas station.
Good for them.
And then he got to the hospital in time to deliver the other baby. Everybody's happy.
Did he
Mommies
pick
and
something
babies.
up? I hope at least he got a big gulp or something.
I hope he got gas in his car and made it to the hospital.
Well,
in
they
time.
pick up some
Pepperoni.
diapers right there
Yeah.
at the convenience store. And
Maybe a little
And
like
a pacifier.
6-day-old corn roll thing or a hot dog and a
oh yeah,
roll in there.
But
Like-
so he has his sustenance so
Yeah.
he can keep going.
All right.
All right, that's all I got for
That's
today.
awesome.
Oh,
That's
my
good
goodness.
stuff.
That is. We'll be
All
back. We might have booze talk. We might not. But otherwise, we'll go to 3 things when we come back. We need a hard stop. I got to see if this Jason guy's here.
This tastes like the rye Pendleton. Do you think this is the normal Pendleton?
This one tasted different from the first one.
Ah, okay.
So maybe I don't know.
We have
It's
no
not-
more.
Was this the regular Pendleton or the? Oh, it was the regular.
Hey.
Okay, good. No, that's what I wanted.
Did-
Good.
Do you know who Jason is? Is that Jason? Oh, we were going to have booze talk with Jason. We talked to Chewy and he said talk to bourbon and whiskey. Yeah, no, it's fine. It's all good. You want to handle booze talk, Tim?
The Wazoo grad.
I should be qualified, that's for sure.
The sanitary drone.
Yes.
All right, let's come back with 3 things.
Oh, really?
Or because booze talk ain't happening.
Well, we could all go around the table, ask everybody what their favorite holiday drink is. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's our booze
You want to do
talk.
some music coming in, Todd, or are you having issues? Okay. Okay, we're back here at Fred's Rivertown Ale House. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, Malakaliki Makaholi Makahikiko. I threw in the Happy New Year for you, Timmy.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
Is that what you said?
I did. It's the only thing I know, actually, in Hawaiian. That's it. Mahalo. I got that one.
Aloha.
Yeah, where's the weed? I got that one, but I don't remember that one. Anyway, we were supposed to do booze talk with my good friend Jeremy Graham from Tennessee, but now we have a new lead. Somebody happens to be in Tennessee. That was just as, convenience. Anyway, what's your favorite holiday drink there, Mr. Boyle?
Well, all of them.
Okay, Tracy.
He's equal opportunity. He's equal opportunity.
My favorite during the holidays, I like to make a good coffee drink. I make a great B52 coffee with coffee.
What
I don't
time of
really
day?
drink.
Like morning?
Usually start at 9 a.m.
You have to because it's already dark.
Yeah, because that's when you drink coffee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tracy?
Well, I'm a Bailey's girl,
Yeah.
but I have a heart. I can swill through a bottle of Bailey's in like no time. It just, and it's expensive. So I started recently making my own Baileys, the homemade Baileys, which is
What?
It's pretty simple.
Really?
Yeah. And but then I didn't make it last year for some reason. And so I thought I'm going to go to Costco and I'm going to get the Costco. Costco used to make their own Baileys.
The Kirkland brand.
Yeah, the Kirkland
They
brand.
still do, don't they?
No, I go there and I'm like, there's no Kirkland brand of Baileys. They have the wine-based one, which is no, you don't buy that.
That's a tip right there.
Yeah,
That's a tip.
No. And so then I was going to get, I thought, well, I didn't find that, but I'll just get the regular Baileys. A wee little bottle of Baileys is like $40. That'd be gone in a night.
Is that the Mister partaking as
Wow.
well?
No,
or-
he doesn't drink.
That's right.
You
He
can
doesn't
polish
drink.
one of those in a night.
Well, not. I mean,
do you need the number to shadle again?
So I do like a little Baileys, and so
Sounds like you like a lot
I
of
do.
Baileys, not a little.
So I'm thinking I'm going to make it myself, and so I buy all the ingredients, and you buy like a cheap Canadian whiskey that like a McNaughton's, right?
I actually like that stuff.
McNaughton's egg.
So that I bring it all home, and I'm thinking I'm going to make my own homemade Baileys, and I find out that I have several bottles of McNaughton in my pantry because of all the years that I thought I would make my Baileys that I didn't. So
Bailey's is your go-to.
Long story. Yeah,
No,
short,
excellent
yeah.
story. Spencer, we're going to skip you because you're old enough, but
I
haven't experienced it yet.
yeah.
Oh.
Well, you don't want to skip Spencer?
No, we don't want to skip.
You do or you don't?
No, shouldn't we?
Make up your mind.
No, we don't want to skip him. Why are we
should
skipping
not
him?
skip our
Spencer
guests.
family
Yeah.
because Spencer's
I'm going to use this Christmas to find out. Like I said,
Oh.
I guess being 21 for the first time, but also being a college student, you got to go with the cheapest drink. So
Yeah.
whatever I can get for cheap, unless it's on my parents.
I was going to say you're home for the
But
holidays,
you're home
buddy.
now, so
So,
Oh.
yeah, but my dad's a cheap guy too. So I mean, either way, I guess.
what you need to do is just go down to Applebee's with him every time they go, and
Happy
Get him
hour,
a few
though.
drinks and then see what he does
Yeah.
for me. So.
Only happy
I'll
hour.
send you the recipe for the homemade Baileys.
Yeah,
It's
that
really
could
Well,
be
cheap.
if you send it to me, I'll put it on our show
Oh,
notes.
okay.
Anyway, Fernalicious, we had a good Hanukkah party Saturday night.
We had a
Fernalicious and
great
Cougar
Hanukkah
Joe
party.
came over.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, thank you so much for hosting us. It was awesome.
Well, it was a very impromptu.
Yeah, it was perfect.
I think we just kind of ran into the house, or we're just driving down. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, you
Your
guys were
wife
there.
called me.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
That's what happened.
Whiskey sours. Holy
Your
whiskey
wife-
sour,
Your
Batman.
wife is the
She's
whiskey sour queen.
She's awesome.
She's a
she
heck
can
of a
dial
bartender.
up some drinks.
She
There's
can.
No
I
doubt about
tried
it.
to make that at home, and I'm like, I might as well throw that down the drain.
Yeah, just go with the whiskey then.
Yeah.
Forget the sour part.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So what was your answer, Fern?
Oh, so for me, a few weeks ago we went to Scarlett's. Remember we recorded at Scarlett's, and I know this is really silly, but at Christmas time I like the. It's a hot chocolate, and the cup is as big as both of my hands. It's hot chocolate and Rumpelmans.
Oh, that's
no.
like
It's
a
a butterscotch. It's a butterscotch flavor. So it's a little bit sweet with all the fluffy whipping cream on the top, and they make it beautiful. And I'll have one a year, and then I'm done.
Sounds very fancy.
It's a sugar coma that you go into. Yeah.
Sounds nice.
And it was
Lovely.
lovely.
Scott.
Mine, Coors Light.
Come on.
It's good for any time of year.
The mountains are always blue.
It better be blue.
We'll be back with three things
So ridiculous.
right
Sound
after
like my
this.
college friends.
We couldn't afford Coors Light when I was.
No, that was the good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to play the music, and we'll play back music post. A lot of editing for me. Getting better at it, though.
Hey, you still listening? Public theater
we
back.
wanna promote
Something
Well, we
about
don't
that
have to. We
show.
can.
No, we can. I'm happy to do that.
I also want to talk about my TV show that I didn't get to mention. Okay, we're back. Fred's Rivertown Ale House. Happy holidays, everybody. Tracy, three things. It
Yeah.
was a goodie this week. It's always a goodie, but some good stuff.
Well, I just kind of did an end of the year thing, and I know people. Don't have a whole lot of time to write, and I know people don't have a whole lot of time to read. So the last few blogs are just going to be kind of year in review. And I said I didn't have a lot to write, but I wound up writing a big long essay about 2017 and about how it was a bit of a bitch of a year. I mean, for those of us that had wished for a different outcome in the election, it was hard.
It was a rough start.
It was a rough start for us little snowflakes.
There was a lot of
over
people
here.
that thought the end of the world was coming on
I
after
still
day.
think so, Tim. I still think the end of the world is coming. So
It actually is.
Okay. Well, okay. We'll talk about that in the next thing. No, so it just kind of went over my voyage of the year and how about midpoint, about summer, I started like, okay, I can do this. I can manage. And then talking just about the transitions in my family this year. My kid getting to like this fancy job in Manhattan. And then calling me and saying, this isn't it. After I made all these plans that I was going to spend the rest of my life in New York.
I remember talking to you about that. You were fired up about it. You were so excited.
If my kid has to live 3,000 miles away from me, I am going to be going there. I love New York City. So, but you know what? He came back and it turned out well. It turned out well for him. And then having a daughter, as most of you here did, going off to college, and how everybody was so worried about me, which I thought was funny. I heard so many times, "You can be okay? You me okay?" And
Because
I'm
you're
like,
an empty nester, you mean?
yeah, and I'm like, I think I'm going to be all right. I tell the kids now, I say, call before you come home because you never know what's.
Wow.
Whoa,
That just happened.
Thought this was a family show.
Hey now. You just turn this baby.
But, I don't know how all of you feel about it, but there's a sadness and a poignancy of when the kids fly the coop, for sure. But there's also that exhilaration about like, wow, I could do whatever I want. And the first weekend where the mister was out of town traveling, the daughter's off at college, the son's living his life in Seattle, and I thought I could go to Canada.
Did you?
I didn't.
But you could have. You could have, though.
And that was enough. It's like, I can do whatever I want, but I'm going to have popcorn for dinner. And
I've done that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm with you there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So what's your take on that, the empty net? Well, some of you aren't complete. You're completely
I'm
empty.
complete. You guys already know my
are
deal.
empty.
It's less garbage, more happy hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I got Tanner still.
Yep.
A few more years.
I got
But
Samantha still, so.
I think that you start preparing with the first one, because I know a lot of people, if you don't start preparing, by the time the second one flies the coop, you're just like, stunned.
I
And
do kind of have panic attacks about it, I got to tell you.
Yeah, and
It
so
stresses me out.
You know, you kind of have to. You kind of
It's-
have to.
What am I
prepare
gonna
a little
do?
bit.
Yeah, it's weird,
Well,
but
now's when you.
And I'm
think.
single.
but we've talked
I'm
about
by myself.
now they have the with the new technology. I mean, it's FaceTiming, it's texting 75 times a week, all this stuff. I mean, I barely went to
I don't-
payphone when I was in college.
My kids don't communicate.
I
with
was going
me.
to say my
Yeah.
my college student does not communicate.
Well, let's talk to Spencer Pettit in here, our special guest tonight. You down in Nevada, I mean, you can remember that far back?
Yeah.
First going to school?
Yeah.
Do you communicate with your folks
I
all the
talk
time?
to them every day. Yeah.
Every day? Wow.
I text at
Well,
least
that's-
every day, let them know what's going on.
Really?
Well, they text me first usually, but
Mom or dad?
But
my
you
mom,
respond.
my mom. It's a group
Yeah.
message, but it's my mom that texts me,
Yeah.
and then call probably like 5 times a week. Just
What?
Wow.
yeah.
Can you
so,
talk to Fallon?
What? That's insane.
But she still thinks it's not that much because my other sisters called every single day when they left. So one sister was in Germany, so she had nothing to do. So she was calling every single day.
well,
Your
I look
daughter
like the
looked like
bad
she
one
was
for
doing
not
a lot
talking.
in
Yeah, I was gonna
Germany.
say-
she wasn't
like,
there
hello.
at FaceTime in the morning. She was in London. She's back now, and there was a lot of FaceTiming happening at 8, 9 in the morning when it was 3 o'clock or something in the afternoon. But
So were you sad when you went off? Did you have any homesickness at all?
A little bit. I mean, playing football, you don't get to go home that much. So
Right.
I missed Thanksgiving and Christmas my first year gone. So
Oh.
I mean, at first it wasn't that bad. I mean, you have the football team; it's like another family.
Yeah.
But
Oh, because you guys went to a bowl game,
we went to a bowl
right?
game
Yeah,
that was on
that's-
December 29th.
okay.
So that
That's
part
right.
was like,
Yeah.
as the freshmen, the dorms closed, so they moved us to a Super 8 motel. And
Nice.
we're living
In
in a
Reno.
Super 8 for 2 weeks on Christmas. We went to
That's-
the
Oh.
circus. So
Here's the
That's-
real life.
Oh, were you
I-
guys in
yeah.
the Vegas Bowl or something? Or
we
were-
played in the Arizona Bowl down in Tucson.
but this
Oh.
is this in Tucson or is this in?
So we left for Tucson the day after Christmas. So I was in Reno on Christmas. We got a little ticket for a circus buffet, and that's about it. So
I've been to that circus in
it's
Reno.
not a nice. It's not a good
Yikes.
circus. So
The Peppa Mill, very nice. Got a good buffet. Anyway,
the cheesecake at the Atlantis. You'll have to see that.
oh, how
That's
you
good.
doing? Huh? Yes. I've been to Atlantis too. I've done some time down in Reno.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what else? You talked about some other things.
Well, it was basically just about the year, and and I don't know. I mean,
Well-
next week I'm going to write about things that kind of saved me
Yeah.
over this year, and also about relationships change, friendships
Yes.
change, and I lost a couple. I didn't lose friendships, but they definitely changed.
Well, that's part of this huge life change when your kids go away. That's why I
Right.
like hanging, with you people, because if we didn't have sports or didn't have other things, you lose your social circle as parents.
And you know what? I think it's whittled back. You come out of the whole high school experience, people that you kind of had to hang out with because they were part of your kids' thing. You come out of that and you whittle it down to the people that you really want to be around, which I think is nice. And I think there's a clarity that comes with that too, is that I don't know, people's true character comes out and you make those decisions that, like these are my people, those maybe not so much. And so, but it's just, at the same time, it's all transition, it's all changes. And I think I don't know, for me, it was kind of a crazy year, a little bit of a crazy year.
It was a crazy year for me too.
you
It's
know?
had ups and downs, and I don't know. Tim,
Shoot.
good year for you.
For the most part, other
Yeah.
than a back injury,
Yeah.
it's been a pretty good year.
All right.
The Trump thing was great.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So should we
It was weird. The sun actually came out the next morning.
It
that
was
was really
crazy.
weird.
It was neat.
So
God,
should
the
we-
stock market's up.
So
and
sh-
man,
should-
housing
should-
prices are up.
should we promote the band that we
Sure.
talked about?
Public
the
Theater
Yeah,
has
Public
got
Theater.
Look
new
how quick
date.
she wanted to change the subject.
We're not to know you didn't yet.
So, Public Theater, who we featured a couple weeks back, who we loved, who I saw live and I thought were awesome, they will be opening up tomorrow night, although maybe by, if you get this in time, it's that tomorrow night they're opening for Slow Hollows at the Crocodile tomorrow night at 5:30.
Downtown
$10.
Seattle,
Yeah.
if you're local area.
Crocodile, I was there Saturday night. It's a wonderful, iconic Seattle bar and venue.
Outstanding. And we'll come back. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. And we got some topics, people. More after this.
All righty then.
Do you want your headset back?
Is what? Where? One of your buddies? Oh, yeah. It was just, why was it disabled?
All right. Okay, we're back. Before we do No You Didn't, I've been dying to tell everybody about trying little tips. If you have any apps or anything that you use that you like to use, we talked about Wunderlist, which has changed our lives, about shopping at the grocery store. By the way, I was at the store on Saturday instead of my usual Sunday, and I saw this guy, and I can relate this because I think I talk to myself. I look at the Wunderlist, and I'm trying to find something, and then I talk to myself out loud. And so I look over, and there's this dude with a big, legal pad with a huge list.
Oh, yeah.
And he's sitting there all by himself talking to himself.
Oh, sure. He's probably going crazy because his wife sent him with the freaking laundry list, and it's got everything from every single aisle of the store on there. And he's probably, by the time he gets out of there, he's probably just a basket case.
Yes. So that was funny. I thought of that. Anyway.
Did you turn him on to the Wunderlist?
I should have. I didn't walk
that
up.
was
I was
that
on
was
it.
a door open
It was.
for you.
It was. Every time I see somebody walking with these tattered notes and lists, I want to tell them about the Wunderlist. But
I'm amazed at the wives who actually entrust the grocery list to the husbands because,
I think they just want to get him out the door.
Well, get him out of the
They're like,
house
this
for a
list will
little
keep
bit,
him
yeah.
occupied for like an hour and a half. He won't find any of it. But then they even get worse. As you're
They
there,
abbreviate
they
it?
start texting you more stuff
Yeah.
while you're there. They do.
Are you on your toes? Are you on
Yeah.
your A game? Where are you at?
It's like
just
the most pressure.
don't forget the paprika. And it's not like don't forget the milk or something where you know where
and
it's
it
at.
should be smoked paprika, by the way.
Yeah.
The biggest stress is if you're
Organic
If you're on a time crunch.
Yeah.
If you have to get in and out, the pressure's unbelievable. Nobody understands.
They don't. They
Anyway.
just don't get it.
The other thing is, you started watching Will and Grace. Does anybody watch Will and Grace? I mean, it's...
You mean the new version?
Yes. Oh, my God. It's so great. It is just 30 minutes of happiness and laughter. Killing me. Will and Grace. That's my tip. If you haven't watched
All right.
it.
What night is it on?
I don't know. We DVR everything. I don't know
was
what
gonna
any
say,
night's
you
on.
can on demand. Just
You don't,
look
you
it
don't
up.
tape it?
I'm
No, we
old school.
DVR it. We tape. Yeah, we
tape
tape it. Yes. I've got it
I don't
VCR
watch
stacked.
anything. I don't watch anything when it's the time that is scheduled on TV anymore,
Well, you can on demand or anything.
unless it's the stupid Seahawks.
All right, time for Note You Didn't. We had a list here. We talked about some pajamas. I want to get that going.
Oh, yeah. You ready
Tim
for
wanted
this?
to talk about his pajamas.
And this is one of
Not
you know,
your pajamas.
Yeah, of course not. This is one where, I've told you I have too many pet peeves, and normally my wife just kind of like shakes it, rolls her eyes, and says I need to get rid of some of my pet peeves. But this one she actually agrees with me on. You go out to the store, the mall, or whatever, and you got people walking around in their pajamas, and it drives me crazy. It's like, get dressed, get ready for the day. So how lazy are you where you can't ever get dressed and you got to do everything in your pajamas?
Well, especially, I think, this day and age when you have things like yoga pants and reasonable sweats
Yes.
that could almost be as comfortable as pajamas.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't like yoga pants at school. I don't think they should do that. But I'm okay. Yoga pants, fine. But pajamas, come on.
A sweatshirt, a hoodie, it doesn't have to be fancy, but you're not in your jammies.
And they look like they haven't showered in like 3 days, and
They probably smell like they haven't washed their hair for a while.
Yeah, I don't try to get that close,
I don't
but
like that smell.
I'm sure.
Now, smell like head, like dirty head. I hate that.
I had to tell Tim this because on Friday night I went and played bunco with a group of ladies. We had a great time. And it was pajama night. It was pajama night.
Jesus
Pajama night bunko.
Pajama night bunko. And I thought of him because we just had this conversation on the side, and Lorraine's like, "Oh my gosh!" And we're on the way here, and she was riding with her daughter, and she's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna run into Fred Meyer," and Lorraine's like, "I've got my pajamas on."
That's
and
that's
they
bad.
get
I don't think I would do that.
Yeah.
But
I told you guys on text, at Totem Falls, nobody saw this. The woman, I don't know her name, and I hope she doesn't, if she's a listener,
God bless
maybe
her.
she won't be after
Maybe
this.
she needs to invest in some yoga pants.
But she would drop the kid off every single morning in her complete pajamas. I mean, and she'd walk her kid into the school at Totem Falls. This is a classic every day.
I couldn't understand what you were saying in the text. It didn't make sense to me.
So I will admit, I didn't drive my daughter to school every day, but occasionally I would drive her to Glacier Peak in my pajamas.
Well, did you get out of the car and walk into school?
No, I never got out of
That's
the car.
okay.
And I usually wore sunglasses.
Yeah.
Oh.
And maybe a hat.
Yeah, this woman, no hat. Again, respectfully, she was owning it, but it was really?
Did she have slippers?
Yeah, she had slippers on. I mean, literally rolls out of bed, into her car, into Totem Falls Elementary School.
And walked her little child into his classroom.
And what about workplace attire?
Oh, really? You want me to get going on that?
Yes, I do.
Well, you always look very professional.
Yes.
Okay, and I do feel like my bar is probably a little bit too high, and I'm not going to lower it. But what I want to say is this was with the millennials. And we had this young lady show up we have Casual Friday, which
that's
people,
the problem.
And they don't even know what Casual Friday is anymore. It's not the day you're going to mow your lawn, so don't wear those jeans and those shoes. But this girl, it's a Wednesday afternoon. She shows up in her Daisy Dukes.
No.
Yes, I'm like,
really?
I looked at her, I said, casual, it's Jean Wednesday? She's like, I had a bad morning. I'm like, no, I think that's still inappropriate.
You told her this?
Oh, here we go. Dress code, because this is a big hot topic at the high school. Is dress code during the summer when it's warm out. I know my daughters go crazy. They used to go crazy about the hypocrisy of the dress code between dudes and girls, and they used to get called to the. A lot of kids got in trouble with this. Go ahead, Todd Elvig now on the mic.
Well, first, in response to Fern's deal, as a fellow woman, not to me.
What?
Obviously.
As a fellow woman?
To the woman.
You got an announcement or something?
Hey, I might identify that way today.
Oh, that's true. I can't.
Okay. That's right.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Don't say nothing. No, that's not it either. I should be able to tell you, and you agree with it.
Oh. Okay.
Anyway, so, we've been talking about that thing every single podcast, the little, men and women and
sexual harassment.
That'd be correct. Now, if you are doing something to draw attention, such as Daisy Dukes, and then somebody looks at you or happens to make a comment about the really short shorts, or
is this a dress code thing?
Well, like her casual.
It wasn't Casual Friday. It was Wednesday. I'm
okay, but you see what I'm saying. Where I'm going with it is, if you're going to want to be treated with respect and not invite comments or cat calls or whatever that is, I think that there needs to be,
He's saying there needs to be responsibility on both parties.
Why don't you just not comment on women's bodies? Right, no matter what. If you came in, or let's say Scott came in
my Speedo,
in his Speedo, and am I supposed to sit here? And control my. I would expect.
No.
Let's say
you get sick.
I'm still working through the visual.
No. You might not say, "Oh, look at his package," but you might say, "Son of a bitch, we're suing the company because they let him come in those Speedos."
I don't know. I don't.
Do you know
care.
what I mean?
Somebody might.
I'm not saying that
we're litigious.
That you couldn't. That people can't control themselves if they see somebody in Daisy Dukes. But I'm saying that there are situations, like I was at Jackson, the other night doing a game.
Yeah, we did a great game.
It was incredible.
GP Jackson boys Friday night.
At
Tim
halftime,
Boyle
I went
showed
outside,
up.
and there was a lot of kids hanging out outside because I come to find out that after the half, there's no ticket prices. So a lot of people show up at the half, they can get in free. Well, I got to tell you that there was a few girls out there that had interesting clothing on. If I caught my daughter in any of that clothing, I would have to punch her in the face. But what I'm saying is that really, I mean, we're talking about
Yeah.
yes, short skirts all the way to, and boots that were coming up to over the knee. It just.
Help
You're,
him out here.
you're inviting comments.
But-
When you
You're
dress like a
yes.
retard, you're
But
inviting
my
comments.
my problem is the hypocrisy. Why it's all about the women need to control the way that they're dressing, whereas how about the guys?
That's because guys are we get into this like every single
What,
podcast because
you're
guys
visually-
we're wired the way we're wired is just it's not good. It just is, and that's a problem.
Well,
and that's what but the
I
most
understand that there's
people
a
but most
difference.
people again have that line where they go wrong and right.
I don't know.
But hold on, I got to challenge her on this because I actually think it's hypocrisy the other way. I think women can get away with 10 times more comments than guys can get away with. Women can make comments to guys all day long and get away with it.
I think
guys,
you're kind of
is
right.
that,
I
on
think
the
is
other-
that because
I
we're
would've-
just happy that somebody's commenting?
Yeah,
I'm just
we're-
glad
I think-
somebody
I
said,
think
please
there's a-
talk to me like that.
Exactly.
There's a grain of truth to that. I'll
Yeah.
give you that. But I don't like our society our culture where it's like if a woman gets raped, it's because
Well, that's
Oh,
yes,
that-
no.
oh, that's-
and I know,
that's
I
not
know,
what he's talking
I know.
about.
I took it.
But
Yeah.
rape is not about sex. Rape is
about power.
It's about power and it's
Right.
about violence. I mean,
Yeah.
it is. That's
a whole nother level.
I mean, not anybody that looks at somebody in Daisy Dukes and says, "Boy, that looks good."
I
Not
s-
most 99.9% of those guys that make that comment are not. They will. They. That was it.
they're not a rapist.
Right. They're not.
Yeah, they may be acting inappropriately, but they're not a rapist.
My wife, she and I have this joke, right? Is that you can get you? I don't even know how to say this politically correct. You can get, guys will walk around and say, "Hey, take a look," right? Because guys, they're dying to have somebody pay attention to, right?
Well,
And-
that's about self-confidence. You get into a whole thing about, you're looking for love all in the wrong places.
That was a 70s song.
Who did it? What
I don't
album?
remember. I'm going to have to think about that.
Tim. Oh, 80s is your wheelhouse. I
Yeah,
apologize.
70s is not
70s a little on the edge.
My boy takes credit for being in the class that changed Glacier Peak's dress code.
Well, that's a whole nother. I thought that's what we were talking about, dress code, but you
we
went.
were going to that dress code,
Yeah.
right? So what happened is they kept dinging the girls for having shorts that are too short or whatever, right? So half the boys in that class came to school the next day wearing really short shorts, wearing sleeveless T-shirts or whatever the code was, and they couldn't handle that volume, and so they just said, "Well, I guess we'll just."
Nobody can then.
Right. So
Yeah.
no, other way
Oh.
around.
Oh, then anybody you can wear whatever you want.
Yeah, that's
right.
That's the thing. My daughters are like, listen, the guys can wear
Right,
barely
whatever they
anything,
want.
and
Yeah.
they don't get called out. And anything is showing. If a strap from a bra or sports bra or anything, it's all of a sudden you're going to the office and you're getting written up.
Right.
Well, and when you get to the workplace, though, then when you get to the professional workplace, women can get away with a lot more attire than men can because a lot of times there's specific dress codes, and women can wear shorts or this gal wearing Daisy Dukes, and where guys can't get away with that all in the office.
We should all just wear suits.
But do you think, Tim? Do you think
Suited
that
up.
Do you think that it's easier for a supervisor to call a guy in and say, "Hey, what you're wearing is not appropriate," than it is for him or her to call in a woman and say, "Listen, what you're wearing is not appropriate."
I think it's harder it'd be easier to tell the guy. I remember I was a manager before, and I had to call a female and tell her to button up her shirt.
That had to be difficult.
It wasn't because I wanted to fire her anyway, but she would wear her shirt completely unbuttoned with her bra showing, and it's like, I had to, I just said, you got to button up your shirt. That's completely inappropriate. And it didn't bother me one bit. And she knew she was wrong. And I had like 3 other women come up to me and say, thank you for doing that, because it was offensive to everybody.
All right, we got to move on to
anyway,
Do we want to address any of these? The tax bill, the Mueller email, Mueller email situation. Nobody. I'm getting. No one's real. No. Yes. Anything? Any other topics?
That's not really a no. You didn't, is it?
Well, no one's talking. I mean, yes, it's on the news, but there's different sides of all these stories, and I don't think people are talking about it at holiday parties.
They're probably not. I don't know. The Mueller thing. I think there's a lot of there's much to do about nothing. Where I think they keep saying, "Oh, we're gonna impeach Trump because he's gonna fire Mueller." Well, I don't think he's firing Mueller, and if he does fire Mueller, I think he's in trouble. But I don't think he is. I think he says he's not going to, and it's like the world's ready to like riot about it. I heard that. I even heard that Seattle's preparing for riots on Friday because they all think Trump's going to fire Mueller on Friday. And if he does, it's going to be wrong if he does. But I don't know that he's going to do that.
All right. Anybody else? Spencer? Nothing? No one wants any piece of that.
Spencer's like,
tax bill? We can't get a tax bill. They're going to slam this thing through?
Oh, it's ridiculous.
I think it's going to go through.
I think it is going to go through. And my whole thing was I kind of highlighted today in the Seattle Times, and it was a article. I want to make sure I reference this perfectly by Paul Wiseman, AP economic writer. I think he had an interesting point about the risk here. The risk, we've talked about all the huge tax cut rates. You have $1 trillion of debt. You already have some pressure because of Medicare and Social Security because of the boomers. So the risk is, again, which is they're rolling dice, and I agree they're going to do it. It's fine. We'll have to see. No one really knows. The bet is all these cuts are going to mean more jobs, more employment. The big one that I think is bringing the trillions of dollars from profits that huge corporations store offshore overseas. That's a big one. Now, are they going to subsidize education so the people sitting around this table don't have to spend so much in education? Fern's praying right now.
I don't think that's part of the tax bill, though.
But all this money coming back in, it'll be interesting to see what happens. And this one particular quote out of here, see, now I want to be so good about referring to, but this is Mark Zandi, chief economist at Moody's Analytic. He says, you throw deficit finance tax cut on a full employment economy, you're playing with fire. And it's going to get pretty toasty out there. So his question is, and I think everybody is, you do all these tax cuts, we're overemployed as it is, right? So it'll be interesting to see how this all shapes out and if it boosts and does all the things that they want it to do. That's all.
No, we'll see. I mean, the whole point of it, but like you said, they want to get we want to get those trillions of dollars that are going overseas with these corporations back into America, and that's going to have all this trickle-down effect on the whole economy.
The big question is, what are they going to do with that money? That's what they're going to do. Okay. Any other big topics? Real quick read. Want to thank Fred's Rivertown Ale House, of course, right here in downtown Snohomish, if you're ever around here. And we did not get to booze talk, which makes me sad.
We kind of did.
Well, that's right. We did. So thank you to Fred's Rivertown Ale House for all their hospitality. And also STSBN.com. Check it out. Streaming live. You can't beat high school basketball. Tim, you were there with us Friday night.
I was.
It's just so fun.
It was an awesome game, too.
It was. I mean, football, basketball, you name it. These kids give 120%. They're flying around. It's fantastic. I love it.
Not Pettit. He only came in a couple times a game.
Pettit had no pressure. So that's that. I want to thank Spencer Pettit, our guest. Thank you so much, Spencer. The weapon. For coming in. And you have, 2 more years of eligibility? 2 more years to play. Oh, your mic is off.
Until I draft him in fantasy football.
Exactly.
He did. His mic's off, so he said he's got 2 more years to play.
Okay. I want to thank my father, who
Did you turn his mic off?
Who we heard from but didn't really hear from much. And I don't know when we're going to be on again.
Oh, that's sad.
But we will be on.
Okay.
Don't worry. I just have to coordinate with you if we want to do it Christmas week or what we want to do it. I don't know where my pages are. Anyway, thank you for listening. And We will see you when you see you. Please share it. iTunes, Stitcher, everywhere you can see podcasts. Let them know. Remember, talk to each other. It just could save the universe.
Yes.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Night.
Happy holidays.
Happy New
Happy
Year.
Merry
holidays.
Christmas.
Bye-bye.
Something About Nothin is a production of the Cairn Company in cooperation with STSPN. For more information on this program, please visit somethingaboutnothin.com.